Today, I stand before you not just as the Vice Chancellor of this great institution, but as a fellow member of a community that has faced unprecedented challenges over the past months. The events that have unfolded, particularly at our Mthatha campus, have left deep scars on our collective spirit. A life has been lost, trust has been shaken, and our sense of unity has been tested. I want to begin by acknowledging the pain and trauma that many of you experienced. The tragic loss of our student Sisonke Mboleko and the subsequent events, including the unrest following the release of the residence manager on bail, have brought to light deep-seated issues within our institution and the broader society. In the face of these challenges, I must express my deepest regret for the suffering endured by our students, staff, and their families. While we, as an institution, have a responsibility to uphold the law and ensure the safety and security of all, I recognize that our responses may not have always been swift or adequate, and for this I offer my heartfelt apology. I recognize that an apology alone is not enough. Words must be accompanied by actions. That is why, since the onset of this crisis, we have embarked upon a journey of reflection, a journey of engagement, and most importantly, action. Please allow me to reflect on the events of the past months. On the morning of the 15th of April, our campus became the site of a confrontation that escalated tragically. Students voicing their concerns about accommodation rules and conditions approached the residence manager. What followed was an incident that led to the loss of life and injuries to some. The details are still under investigation, but the impact of the incident is undeniable. The pain of losing one of our own, a peer, a friend, is immeasurable. In the wake of this tragedy, our university community was further tested when students' protest erupted, demanding justice and accountability. These demonstrations, whilst rooted in genuine grievances, also led to acts of violence and destruction. The university's property was damaged, and most importantly, the safety of staff and students was threatened. These actions, though born from frustration, are regrettable and should not be a way in which we express our frustrations. I understand that many of you have questions and concerns. One of the most pressing is the registration status of Sisonke Mboleko at the time of the incident. As stated in our council statement dated 16th April 2025, Sisonke was a WSU student registered for the Bachelor of Education degree in 2023 and in 2024. For the 2025 academic year, he paid the required minimum initial payment with the intention to register. But unfortunately, he could not finalize his registration due to lack of funding. Sisonke was and will always be a part of our WSU family. We hold his memory with deep respect and love. The second concern pertained to the support provided to the family of the Mbolekwa family. I want to assure you that the university has been actively involved in supporting the family from the day of the incident. On the 15th April, as soon as we learned of the incident, a team from Student Affairs was dispatched to Matatiele to engage the family of Sisonke. In addition, I personally visited with the University Council in Matatiele and spent time with the mother and family of Sisonke. In our private conversation, his mother and I spoke from the heart about how to best honor the memory of Sisonke, to ensure that it remains alive in our hearts and in the corridors of WSU. The registrar, on his part, chaired the organizing committee for the funeral which the university committed to do, and our head of marketing and communication was sent to assist the family with facilitation and preparation of the sending off of Sisonke. Additionally, our operations team assisted with the renovations. Moreover, an insurance financial contribution that is standard for all our students was paid to assist the family. Our support continues, and we remain committed to standing by the Mbolekwa family. Another concern raised was a letter of support written to the residence manager involved in the incident. This letter was unprecedented, written on the same day of the incident as the matter was unfolding. Ladies and gentlemen, as the Vice-Chancellor, I have a statutory and a contractual obligation that encompasses dual responsibilities, meaning the ensuring of safety, welfare, and well-being of students, and maintaining the same duty of care towards all staff members, including those residing within university premises as part of their employment arrangements. Following the incident on the 15th of April, it became evident that the residence manager's family had sustained significant collateral impact as a direct consequence of circumstances arising from his employment with the university. His spouse sustained injuries that required immediate medical intervention. 2 minor children were exposed to and affected by the traumatic incident, and property was also damaged. These circumstances created an urgent situation requiring institutional response, as the family had been adversely impacted, not through any fault of their own, but due to the residence manager's professional association with the university, thereby triggering the institution's duty of care and obligations toward affected parties who were caught in the circumstances beyond their control. Our support ceased once the safety of his family was ensured, and we allowed the law to take its own course. I urge you all to have confidence in the legal justice system, and let us please allow the law to take its course. The residence manager remains on precautionary suspension, pending the completion of internal investigations. I want to reiterate our commitment to students and staff, including provisioning of psychological support. In addition, we remain committed to ensuring that our students understand and appreciate legal processes and why institutional non-interference is both appropriate and necessary. In restoring and building trust, our first priority was to engage all stakeholders, students, staff, and community members and external partners to understand the causes of the unrest and develop sustainable solutions. Consequently, we held numerous meetings with student leadership, including the Mthatha SRC, political structures, and broader student formations, as well as with staff members. These engagements have been instrumental in identifying key issues and formulating strategies to address them. One of the primary concerns raised was the state of student accommodation. Since 2021, we have embarked on a comprehensive journey to improve our residences and have made significant progress. But funding constraints have hindered our progress. Nevertheless, we are committed to accelerating maintenance efforts and exploring alternative funding avenues to ensure that our students and our staff have access to safe and conducive living and studying environments. Another significant issue has been the mode of examinations. Following Senate's decision to proceed with face-to-face examinations, many students expressed concerns, especially those who have been taught online. In response, the Senate's decision stands. It is, however, important to state that at faculty level, executive deans are engaging on these issues and on evaluation of assessments, especially at postgraduate level. Communication has also been a recurring theme. Students and staff have highlighted the need for transparent, timely, effective communication from management and at different levels in faculties and support environments. To address this, we are developing a comprehensive communication strategy that includes regular updates, feedback mechanisms, and capacity building initiatives for all stakeholders. This communication strategy will be engaged with the relevant stakeholders, and we will also consider their inputs, because what we want to achieve is sustainable solutions. Furthermore, we recognize the importance of leadership presence. Senior management, including executive deans, deputy executive deans, heads of departments, and all managers are urged to visit teaching venues and student spaces to offer reassurance and guidance. These engagements are vital in rebuilding trust and demonstrating our commitment to the well-being of our institution. We will continue to provide support to the victims of violence. The trauma experienced by our students and our staff cannot be understated. We are committed to providing continued psychosocial support to all victims of violence. Our support services are available to assist those in need, and we encourage both students and staff to seek help. Having addressed concerns raised by students and staff, allow me to reflect on what bedevils our efforts in transforming our institution, and to also ensure that there is common understanding of root challenges at WSU that undermine our transformative endeavors. As I reflect on them, I would like to borrow directly from Council's report entitled, and I quote, WSU University Council Report as to the incident of the 15th of April 2025, and I close quote. It is trite, ladies and gentlemen, that WSU challenges are systematic and thus have a long and huge impact on our transformative agenda. These systematic and social problems are at the core of our struggles and student protests. Our transformative strategy roadmap, Vision 2030, represents not only our aspirations, but also our commitment to systematically transform our university from one of crisis to an institution able to fulfill its crucial mandate of serving marginalized communities. This transformation journey is nestled on two pillars: infrastructure and the academic project. It also entails an agenda of financial stabilization, community safety, stakeholder management, and academic excellence, and providing an enabling environment for our students and our staff to thrive. To date, it is 4 years old, and repairing decades of infrastructure neglect and staff and student inertia has been a challenge. A glance at progress over the past 4 years is enormous. It includes renovation and construction of buildings across the 4 campuses. Among these, renovations include student residences, with all campuses covered, and remaining with 3 residences at the Nelson Mandela Drive Mthatha campus, which still need to be renovated. Relating to the academic project, we have also made significant progress. For an example, in staff development, we continue to see visible increase in the number of staff with postgraduate qualifications. Furthermore, we have made a quantum leap in as far as our NRF-rated researchers are concerned, from 4 in 2020 to 40 in 2024. This progress was due to the sustainability we maintained in the past 4 years. Our successes were propelled by strategies we put in place, targeted programs for staff and students, and assistance from the Department of Higher Education and Training. Nevertheless, in spite of these successes, internal and external challenges continue to pose significant risks and at times undermine our efforts and lead to unrest that we have witnessed. WSU staff and students continue to grapple with enormous challenges, and allow me to list some of them. In as far as our infrastructure ambitions are concerned, the university has set an ambitious target of accommodating 50% of our students in university-owned beds by 2030, which requires us at least to have 15,000 beds. Currently, the university owns 5,000 beds, leaving a shortfall of 10,000 beds to achieve this target. We have every intention of achieving this set goal. Socio-economic contexts of our students are huge and comprise funding challenges that include policy changes in funding which result in the defunding of our students. WSU is a comprehensive university, and as such, we have programs such as advanced diplomas. But unfortunately, due to this change in policy, some of our students registered for advanced diplomas do not have funding, and as a result, find themselves at loggerheads with the institution. Regardless, we continue to put in place internal interventions as we try to assist our students. However, our efforts are insufficient to meet all the needs of our students. Crime and violence in surrounding communities that at times directly or indirectly impact on our operations also pose unique challenges for us as WSU. The culture of student protests over the past 4 years has changed, and we have been encouraged to witness that positive transformation endeavors are beginning to bear fruit. However, this academic year, this relative stability has been challenged. That is why we continue to accelerate our efforts to maintain stability. For us, the involvement of all stakeholders remains critical, and we will continue to amplify not only our efforts, but also our relations with stakeholders. As we look ahead, together with our stakeholders, our students and staff, we have agreed that our focus will be on implementing the following interventions. This list is not exhaustive. 1. Zero tolerance for violence. Any form of violence, whether by students or by staff, will not be tolerated. Our campuses are gun-free environments, and existing policies will be amended. New policies will be crafted to reinforce this stance. Enhanced stakeholder engagements are at the forefront of our responsibilities as we move forward. Regular engagements with internal and external stakeholders will continue, including the upcoming Umbumbano scheduled for Thursday, the 19th of June in Mthatha, and the stakeholder imbizo that will be announced in due course. In as far as accountability and capacity building efforts are concerned, managers must ensure that staff members that report to them perform their duties effectively. Managers who fail to hold those employees accountable will themselves be held to account. Therefore, I urge managers to ensure that training and capacity building programs are implemented to enhance service delivery where required. With regards to a comprehensive communication strategy, A clear and holistic communication strategy will be developed, including an implementation plan for regular updates and feedback. We recognize that our responses to crisis must be proactive and agile. Thus, we will develop a digital platform that will cater for the submission of complaints, provision of feedback timelessly in order to mitigate our continuing risks. Moving forward, we will strive to anticipate challenges and address them promptly with your help and collective wisdom. As I conclude, I want to reiterate my deepest apologies for the pain and suffering that many of you have endured. While we cannot change the past, we are committed to building a future where every member of the WSC community feels valued, heard, protected, and supported. Together, we will restore the dignity and pride of our institution. Ndiyabulela, enkosi.